What's up, guys? T-Rock1992 here. For this next video and for my next movie review, I'm going to be reviewing a comedy that I just watched the other day. I watched it a couple of times before. I watched it in theaters, actually, as a matter of fact, back in 2007. And it's a movie based off a TV show that I really like. It's a very funny film. I mean, let's just say that off the bat. You know, this is a very funny film. The Simpsons Movie. Now, you may remember that I did post a video a while back that I talked just about The Simpsons in general. And I did reference the movie and how much I liked it. This is going to be more of an in-depth review about The Simpsons Movie in general. So, first of all, this movie took a long time to be made. It really did. There were ideas about it way beforehand. In fact, the episode was called Camp Krusty. Was originally thought to be made as a film. They were gonna take that episode and kind of make it into a film, kind of create it into a film, and didn't happen. It took a while for this film to be made. Thank God it got made. I'll just say that right now. So there are a lot of the voice actors that are in the Simpsons episodes are all in this movie. Dan Castenella plays well, I'll kind of just give a few of the characters out. Dan Castenella plays Homer Simpson, the main guy, Grandpa Simpson, Krusty the Clown, Groundskeeper Willie, Mayor Quimby, as main characters. Julie Kavner plays Marge Simpson and Patty and Selma. Nancy Cartwright in the series plays Bart Simpson, Maggie Simpson, Ralph Wiggum, Nelson Muntz. A lot of the boys, the schoolboys. And Nancy Cartwright is a woman, and she plays these guys, these schoolboys, basically. Yeardley Smith plays just Lisa Simpson. Hank Azaria plays Most Sislak, Chief Wiggum, Cletus, Professor Frink, Comic Book Guy, Apu Nasahama Pima Petsalon, and a lot of those characters. Harry Shearer, who actually, just a little bit of a update, if you will, Harry Shearer is actually leaving the series. So we won't hear him voicing characters like Mr. Burns, Waylon Smithers, Ned Flanders, Reverend Lovejoy, Lenny Leonard, Principal Skinner, Kent Brockman, Dr. Hibbert. He voiced a lot of influential characters. And maybe in another video I'll talk more in depth about it, maybe, about Harry Shearer's exit, but it's a big loss for The Simpsons for sure. But he was in the movie and he played a lot of those characters. Pamela Hayden played Milhouse Van Houten as one of her few characters. And then Albert Brooks, who is a comedian and who has been in the Simpsons episodes before. He has guest starred in at least 5 episodes, I believe. He's in the movie as the main villain, Russ Cargill. And then Tom Hanks has a little cameo as himself. So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat that they had Tom Hanks. And originally they were going to have a lot of other cameos. Minnie Driver, Isla Fisher, Edward Norton, Kelsey Grammer from Frasier. They were going to have those people in. But those people I mentioned were cut from the movie. From the movie, basically. For time, obviously. Green Day also appears as themselves. Green Day, the punk rock band. So, with all that out of the way, the plot of the movie. So the Simpsons, have a pretty normal, it's a pretty everyday thing, and it's pretty normal in the town of Springfield, pretty dysfunctional, pretty normal. It gets more dysfunctional with, there's this excuse me, that was my cat right there. He wanted to be in this video. But yeah, eventually, or, you know, for the Simpsons, life is normal at first and things like that. Green Day comes to perform at their concert, or a concert for them, but their Lake Springfield is very polluted. A lot of people pollute that lake, have polluted the lake. So Green Day actually falls. They die in the lake, they go down in the polluted lake and all that. And so there's a lot of questions about the pollution in Springfield. Lisa Simpson, who's a big environmentalist in the series and in this movie, she tries to convince everybody, hey, we need to get rid of the pollution. We need to stop dumping things in the lake. Finally, the whole town decides to do it. They decide to have people dispose of their waste properly. However, Homer doesn't really get the message. He dumps pig crap in his in the lake and all that from Spider Pig. Spider Pig's a great character in this film, by the way. So he dumps pig crap from Spider Pig in that lake, and it causes the lake to be even more polluted than it was before. Homer becomes a pariah in the town for... Eventually it is found out that the town eventually finds out that Homer was the one who did it, and he and the family are labeled as pariahs, and they are almost killed. They are almost killed in Springfield when eventually they escape. They escape from a dome, which the villain Russ Cargill created as an effort to stop the pollution. Cargill is the head of the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and he wants to basically cut off Springfield from the rest of the world by putting a giant dome in Springfield. And Homer, escapes from that dome with the family. Cargill hunts them down. Homer and his family go to Alaska to start fresh, to restart their lives. Then they get news that Cargill wants to destroy Springfield itself because there's just no way the pollution can stop. Well, there's just... Cargill wants to wipe Springfield out. He wants to destroy it. Marge and Bart and Lisa, they go back, and Maggie, they go back to try to save Springfield. Homer doesn't want to do it. And then Homer eventually gets an epiphany, and he goes back, and he helps save the town. He's got to try to save the town from Russ Cargill. Now, I know I gave away a lot of the plot, and in the movie, in the movie reviews I'm doing recently, I'm not really giving away much. I give away some, but back then I gave away pretty much the whole thing. But, and I know I gave away a lot in this film, for this film, but I imagine a lot of people have seen it, because it's been out since 2007. So, I'll end describing it right there. And I will tell you that, again, this is a hilarious film. It is full of laughs. It is a big highlight of the Simpsons franchise. The episodes are great. The episodes, there are many episodes that stand on their own that are really, really good. And are really memorable episodes. The movie. It was a brilliant idea to make the movie. And it came at the right time, because at the time this movie came out, The Simpsons was declining in quality. I mean, they still are today. But a lot of people say that after the first 10 seasons, The Simpsons' quality has started to decline. It was in decline mode in 2007 when the movie came out. The movie its budget was $75 million. It was a phenomenal success, making $527 million worldwide. It was a huge success. I mean, probably more than what the Simpsons movie, than what they were expecting, basically. But for a lot of Simpsons fans, this was exciting. This was The Simpsons on the big screen, finally, instead of just the small screen. So this was very exciting, and a lot of fans that may have been turned off by some of the recent episodes during that time, probably were like, hey, I'm going to give the movie a chance. Let's see how that goes. And I bet they weren't disappointed, because this movie is so funny. The critics agreed, too. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is just... I mean, it was just a big movie. A big budget movie that turned out to be a big success. The star of the movie is Homer. There's no doubt about that. Homer is the big star. Marge also holds her own in this movie. She's also a big star. Homer and Marge are the two big ones in the movie. Bart holds his own, definitely. Lisa has her lines as well. And Maggie has her moments, however little they are. She does still have her moments, but the star of this movie is Homer. I mean, he steals the show in this movie. It is a great performance from Dan Castenella voicing Homer and all the other characters. And it is just... This movie was probably very much anticipated by the Simpsons fans. You know, they wanted the movie to be on the big screen after they heard about, you know, the movie being made. It took a while. Finally, it came in. And it was just a big, rousing success. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so funny. It had me laughing throughout. It gets funnier every time, I think, in some ways, you know. I watched it about 2 or 3 times or something like that, 4 times, something along those lines. And it is just... It's a masterpiece of a comedy movie. It really is. It follows the TV show quite well. I mean, there are... it takes what The Simpsons had for success on the TV, on television, and it transfers that to the movies. Basically, you look at The Simpsons movie, it ran for 87 minutes, so that's about an hour and 30-something minutes. An hour 60 minutes, an hour and 27 minutes. So, that's about, you think about it, that's almost 4 episodes right there in one movie. I mean, sometimes TV to film doesn't work, or film from TV does not always work, but in this case, it worked with the Simpsons movie. Now I'll talk briefly before I stop this video about a sequel. People have probably been wanting a sequel. Actually, Maggie said it in the end credits. Sequel? The Simpsons family walked out of the movie theater. They were in the movie theater, and Maggie's like, sequel? And it raises questions, definitely. Can you see... Are we going to see another movie? I think, personally, if we see another movie, it's going to come towards the end of The Simpsons run, if not at the end of The Simpsons run. You know. But, at the same time, you almost don't really want a sequel, because this first movie was so perfect. Why waste it with a sequel? That if it doesn't perform as well as the original, then it's there, and maybe you didn't really need it in the first place. So there's a lot of thoughts about it. You know, personally, I would want it at the end. If I wanted it at all, it would be at the end of the Simpsons run. You know, towards the end of their their streak there. They're actually going for Gunsmoke's record of 625 episodes for a scripted TV series. They're going for that record. They've been renewed for 2 more seasons. Season 27, which is coming in the fall, and season 28. And they're going to go for it. They're going to go for that record. And I imagine if they were thinking of doing it also, it would be towards the end of the Simpsons run or at the very end. But yeah, if there's news today, if it broke today that, yeah, we're making a Simpsons Movie 2, I'd be very excited for it. I'd be seeing that opening weekend for sure. I definitely would. So overall, this Simpsons movie was very funny, great performances throughout. It was a very, very good highlight of the Simpsons franchise for sure. And that is it for this video. D-Rock 1992 out.